Oh, Genghis Wolves is here, Mojo.
Genghis' first premier play here. And Knäckebröd trying to surprise DiNG.
Going for the hill. A lot of tanks here moving towards the hill. Those two
Oh,
TVPs.
it's gonna be a fight.
Those two TVPs might have a field day here. Crook's already taking a lot. Tarantula taking a lot in this one, but they will have the hill control, though. Throwing away pretty much a free batch shot, though, but they have the hill. The hill is under their control, but was it worth the trade?
2000 HP, it's a really hard trade, but DiNG is in no position to push them at the moment. They will have to rotate a bit. Ooh, Kurit is burning.
Kurit's on fire. They're losing half of his hit points. Not great, but now let's talk a little bit about Genghis Wolves coming in here as Breakneck.
The HP is evening up now. Breakneck getting wrecked again.
Breakneck getting wrecked, so both teams fairly even here now. Hellfish taking some as well. Kurit's coming from behind. Does trigger the cap, so should be aware of this.
If he manages to connect on Leech Bear there, it's gonna hurt a lot.
Now, look at the attention Kurit has taken. Crooks and Tarantula taken more and more in the meantime. Two tier 10s here staring Kurit down. He does have some support, but at the same time...
And there is the push coming in from DiNG. DiNG is pushing.
Here comes the push from DiNG, though. Positive is the first one. He gets completely destroyed already now. Genghis Wolves is a little bit out in the open here, but Hellfish is on reload. Pare in that E5. Now the focus for DiNG. At the same time, the tanks coming from behind. Hoknik doesn't have any shells anymore, and it does look like Leechbear and Genghis are going to push them. And at the same time, the fight around the middle. No, but no real winners here. Leechbear does pick up Kurit. Genghis should pick up Hoknik as he does. So KB still low on HP, but 7 tanks alive.
7 guys, this is a pretty marvelous work by them, and Shokish is there alone. I really don't understand why did DiNG push so separately. It was not like an all-out team push, it was several guys, and Positive just died for nothing.
Shokish bouncing that E5 one more time now, didn't even pick up Pare. Now look at the HP, all one-shot.
And Pare missed him in a return.
I think so. Leechbear is the only one with HP on this KB lineup. Pada one-shot, Hellfish one-shot, Crooks one-shot, Failware one-shot, as Marakar finally removes Pada from the map.
Heavy price for it. He took a 700 plus hit for that, and he's now on one-shot for anyone. Shokish, last guy with some HP.
As Genghis Wolves picks up Marakar here, Shokish still on reload. Will come off at any time soon here. Can he pick up Genghis? Nice drift there. Oh, who's going to take it, Mojo? It does look like it's going to be Genghis to close out the round as KB pick up the first round there. Not what we expected.
Hellish plans work.
That E5, it doesn't really say that you're going to the middle.
It doesn't 50B either, but they did it.
They took a lot of damage.
They risked a lot. I would say that DiNG actually did not fire up enough on them there. They did around 2k damage, but they didn't kill anyone. So they had 2 TVPs that could shoot. They had a 49. They had 2 butt-shots boosting from the other side that we didn't see, but they were there. It just wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. As they took so much damage going up the hill, though, and DiNG pushing afterwards. Positive pretty much drove past the rock and died.
I really understand Kurit, who was on the other side. I understand that there was a tank with him, and they occupied a lot of attention. That was cool. But when you want to push, you actually need to push with the entire force. And this was like, you saw Positive. He went there like he was shot from a cannon. And he was alone.
So far, DiNG hasn't had the greatest track record on mines yet, though.
Pretty bad. It was just 1-1-1-1 all the times.
Yes, so far not very dominant on DiNG. For DiNG, so far on mines, losing the first round here. We could take a look at the stats.
In defense, they're doing better, but last time we saw them really struggle hardcore against Rusty Roster in attack.
And here we have it. Genghis actually doing a lot of damage. Finally, Genghis is here, Mojo.
Genghis' first game, and it was not a blunder. Nice. Leechbear, a new guy, on Grille, on mines, in first line. A lot of nice damage done there, and he even survived.
A lot of guys here from DiNG in the top 7, so it must be places 8 to 14. Yeah, there we have it. The real issues. Kurit, Positive.
Kurit, so he didn't pen the shot that went when the whoever was climbing up first. He did only a few hundred damage, and then a few hundred more back down, and that was about it. Not enough.
Not enough as KB.
But
they were so
again,
low.
Why did Positive do this?
I don't know. He just pushed past the rock alone and died, pretty much.
That's kind of a big throw for such a player and such caliber.
Now, DiNG, they've had a track record 1-1. Can they pick up the second round?
Yeah, probably. It's defense now, so it's their ball play. More or less on mines, I think they always taken the defense. They've been like flunking the attacks.
They lost the attack against Gohard. They lost the attack against Rusty Roster.
Yes, and they picked up the defense always.
Picked up the defense always. So now DiNG, I mean, we said it before. It's a team that knows how to deal with being one round down.
They know to deal with more than one round down, I would say. I mean, having Koritz and Breakneck, they have the experience with that. But I would not underestimate Knäckebröd here. This was really nice, aggressive play.
Yeah, it was really well done.
No respects given.
No respect. Hellfish said he wanted to take this one, but let's take a look at the lineups for our second round here, Mojo. And we can see Gorilla as well, and the T49 again for DiNG. And RT for KB. Yes.
We were hoping to see an RT in attack for a while now. Some positions just yearn for an RT to shoot you, especially those taken by Grille. And really nice and fast lineup by Knäckebröd with support of RT. If it's done well, it will be cool for them. But major mistake by most of the teams so far who were taking the RT was because they just completely let go of any kind of control of the hill. Any possible control, and RT was useless.
Yeah, we saw it from the Wild Bunch.
Yes.
When they played at RT, they didn't take hill control. They took control
Rusty
of
Roster
nothing.
also.
It does look like our game is ready, so let's get into it. It's the second round between these two. DiNG now, Trash and KB. DiNG on the defensive side, Mojo. Koritz in that T49, and actually a lot of 1-2 line pressure here from KB.
Well, it does look like they will not bother with hill control. I was hoping they will at least have one guy like Spoink on B89. He can be a nightmare for the people climbing there. And let's see. Shockish, positive, Hulknik. Good boys.
Hulknik already, he decided to drop off as
he was spotted.
There's no more point for them. Failware taking a lot here, Leechbear taking a lot. They do take that 1-2 line, and Break is still there, so it could be bad for Break pretty much.
Yes, but they already done a lot of damage there, and they don't know the break is there yet.
No, he was spotted before. Now Marakar taking some more in this one as well. Now I'm not the greatest fan of Tarantula's already position, but he does have Pada there in the 1-1-3 covering him, so he should be okay.
Well, if Breakneck, if they feel out where he is, he has nowhere to go. RT combined with those butchats, that will be a free kill. But there is a big rotation coming in from DiNG now. You can see them messing up. They need to help him. They know it, and they do know they are limited with time frame.
Now this push here, 2 bad shots in a TVP. It's going to be on KB to do as much damage as they possibly can if they do decide to cross over, but it doesn't look like that just yet. As I say that though, Hulknik now drives forward. Still, now Hulknik gets spotted. Now this is where the damage needs to come in from KB. Hulk getting none so far. Finally, 2 shells come in, even more. Now this is good. KB though, they need to hold as much as they can, do as much damage as they can as Crooks goes down. Leechbear soon to follow, but the damage trades. Break is low, Positive is low, Hulk is also low as Break goes down.
This is a really good exchange. Knäckebröd is a bit down on it, but now we have a lot of guys from DiNG stuck there, but there is not much guns to control. Ooh.
Tarantula, what? No, Shockish wasn't. How much speed did Shockish have?
He was quite high up.
He was quite high. Shockish getting wrecked by that artillery piece.
Because the damage
had a lot.
They hit. Yeah, he was like 1400 almost, I think.
Again, Shockish not having a great time with RT. Last time it was Positive. Now it will be Shockish. He had a lot of HP that evens the game completely. I think he was even almost full.
Because last time I checked, DiNG had several hundred advantage, and now Knäckebröd is like 1k up. It was. Oh, there is one guy screaming in his chair now.
Oh, Mary, nice shell here, but that Gorilla, Pade could be doing a lot of damage to him. Mary kind of has to get out of there. Another shell here from Pade.
Koritz will now lean over to give him a peck on a cheek.
Heat or Hitchi? Heat or Hitchi? It's Hitchi,
low
233, but he does knock out his gunner, so that's pretty annoying.
Still, Mary is a big target. It's kind of hard to miss those.
A Hellfish taking some damage here as well.
Also
loses his gunner.
No gunners for Knäckebröd.
Who needs gunners, Mojo?
Oh.
Koritz spend this? Nope. Koritz misses.
But Hellfish with no gunner, accurate.
Pay attention to Tarantula though. He just let off a shell. If he moves even more and more.
Hulknik is rotating and he will try to exploit their weakness, guys. And if he takes out Pade or RT, the game is over for Knäckebröd.
But if Hulk gets spotted, then Genghis has a real opportunity here to take down Positive at least.
There's gonna be a big play here because Genghis can kill positive and trade off. And there you go. There should be also reaction on the island now. Come on, Pade.
Now Pade goes down towards Hoknik. Well done, and Genghis is actually on reload, so he can't really trade as Positive is now ripping his teammates to shred.
What a
Hellfish.
bad timing.
Why is Genghis on reload?
We saw him have like 3 shells minimum. What was he doing with them?
Oh, this is not good now. It's just Genghis
Ultra
and
bad
Tarantula.
timing. Ultra bad timing.
It's now Hoknik spots Tarantula. Should be able to pick him up. Yes, he does, and it's all onto Genghis. Why was he on reload?
That's kind of a crucial part here. If he had shells to kill positive here, everything would make sense.
It will be Kurit penning the shell onto Genghis to make the score all even. We said it before, DiNG picks up the defensive side as they does.
And Knäckebröd was playing quite passive here also. In this moment when everything was done with the exchange, it was a good exchange in the water, especially when Tarantula picked up Shockish. But after that, Knäckebröd was kind of stuck. They were not trying to do anything. They were just holding positions. And when you do that, you just give up entire map. They just gave everything.
Hoknik just came in for free from behind, picked up Pade. Then Genghis, for some mysterious reason, manages to...
In my eyes, Genghis or Hellfish should have rotated. One of them should have left and just rotated from to the other side.
Genghis should have at least picked up Positive while they were pushing, but I think he just fired 4 shells on Positive and missed him.
But he was not even in position for that.
Take a look at the stats, though, from that last round. I really think so. Tarantula, there must have been a 1 shot there.
Yeah, pretty much almost entire. I mean, Shockish was not full because he took 1 or 2 shots when he was first one in a push.
1.4, I think he was.
Yeah, he was first one in a push, so he picked up some damage, but it was still quite high. But then we go. Positive, Mary, Halknik, Koritz. Even Koritz.
2k damage in that T49, not bad. He did 700 of that was on Genghis.
And we have Breakneck with another bad day. Rip your fantasy team.
Put Genghis out of it since last week. Oh, my fantasy teams. If you pass me, I'm not playing anymore.
If I replace one player I accidentally put there, yes.
Yeah, Crooks and Leech Bear, also not the greatest performance there for them now. Mojo, Mines, done and dusted. Now moving into Ghost Town.
1-1, not a big surprise here.
No real big surprises. We've seen DiNG struggle so far on the offensive side on Mines, and being good on the defensive side. They've proven this again. Now Ghost Town.
Well, we've seen them easily win over Swift, of course, but that was not a big challenge, yes. And then they had a struggle game against GoHard, but that was a counter game. If you remember, that was a huge video when Koritz is doing skydiving. Yeah. So, but that was a defeat. And on the other hand, Knäckebröd played a lot of Ghost Town. He had a pretty even score, 1-1 in last 2 games. The first one we will not even count. They got wrecked on the first play day against OOR, so they've changed a lot since then.
Are we expecting this to be another 1-1 map? I'm kind of expecting it to be 1-1.
It looks like that. Looks like that to me.
Now, DiNG, I mean, we said that they looked pretty strong so far. Again, the last round, that was a good rotation they made, but kind of expecting a little bit more here, some more dominant play.
Well, on a Ghost Town, they were kind of really peculiar what angles they take, and it worked out in the first match perfectly, as we said, but when GoHard already started countering them, not so much. But here, I expect something new from them.
Let's take a look at the lineups, though. We can see here, Mojo. DiNG, they are doing something new.
Oh, look at those 57s.
No, there's no Mojo. It's 57s.
Yeah, look how many of them. And 54. Oh, my God.
T5041, not a fan of that one.
No.
I like KB's lineup. 4FV, 215Bs, a lot of armor, a lot of HP, a lot of DPM, and then 3 rotational backshots.
You kind of miss at least 113 there, or I7, something that
something
you can stick in a
quick.
cap. But since they are attacking.
They are attacking.
So why don't they have anything?
They should have had at least 1-1-1-3, I think.
Or I7, whatever. Just something to put in a cap if needed.
Even if they don't decide to go for the northern cap, if they bring it, they leave the option there.
But the other option in this
3
game...
3 backshots in the cap?
2 backshots in a cap, tier 9s. And 3rd backshot in a defilade behind. FE is covering the streets.
Let's see what KB has in store for us. Scores all even. Let's get into it. It's going to be Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
There we have it. Scores all even between these two. And a very sudden start here for KB Mojo.
That's quite an unusual. KB so far with their biggest victories came out after really hardcore pushes. And they've been pushing the northern part then. I guess that's why they decided to do it from this side now, because a lot of DPM on those FV heavies. Also, when they were playing defense, I remember Brati had a bad game and Brati is now not in lineup.
Just look how close these tanks are from DiNG. They're already waiting in that square there for a possible push here.
The game that DiNG is playing now reminds me a lot on a Go Hard opening on the last match, if you remember, taking over that middle.
Now these three batches are spotted. Is there going to be a push, a counter rotations from DiNG coming out, as it already seems like Failware and Pare just managed to get safe in this one, taking some damage in return here, but they have to be careful. A lot of DiNG Clippers here waiting.
This is not a scenario you want to have. You do not want to let your opponent have a higher ground. Like now, DiNG has taken control of this map. And if they position their tanks now well in a shootout, they have it all under control. Yeah, they're backing up because there is a crossfire now there from Knäckebröd.
Those two bad shots coming back from KB, but Genghis at the same time losing a lot of his HP there already. Now there's the rotation, positive pushing forwards together with Shockish. Tarantula, Leechbear have to be careful here. Leechbear is taking a lot in this one already, taking even more, and Leechbear, he goes down to Shockish, and it looks like Tarantula will be the next one chasing
they
down
caught
here.
them up completely off guard. They've seen that Knäckebröd tanks were split in two groups of those mediums and the rest of the force, and they just turned around full stop and went on them.
Now Tarantula did pick up positive, but goes down to Kuritsa in return, and a lot of all these clippers here from DiNG.
Breaknik should have a clip right now, and he's coming in force there. I think in a couple of seconds he will start shooting them in the back.
Mary just did his full clip, so he's non-factor in this one anymore. They can focus him all they want. He already managed to do 4 shells. Now Hook shooting from behind as well, picks up Hellfish, Shockish picks up Pare, Hook picks up Failware, Genghis goes down as well, and it's just Crooks left.
Look at that HP when they fire the first salvo, like 3 shots instant. Tuk, tuk, tuk.
It looks all but over as Crooks is the last one. It's going to be Kuritsa and the T54E1. And that will be DiNG picking up their second round here. Mojo.
Rather fast game.
Rather fast game. You could see DiNG, as soon as they kind of saw where KB was, they instantly rotated, came close. They were looking for the push with those T57s.
And there was really good communication, but that's something you would expect out of this lineup, because you cannot let someone go sit in a cap, as example, and then you start to push. How will you push them? What with? You're in a problem then. So they were looking for the conflict, and surprisingly also was KB, but KB chose a bad side. They ran right into them.
Yeah, KB with those 3 batch shots. As soon as they got spotted, there was the push from DiNG. Then Leech, Bear, and Tarantula tried to rotate, but
it was not the best play by Budgets from KB, especially.
They were trying to cover them, and they thought DiNG was going to keep pushing, but they didn't.
We saw one of them on the upper side getting wrecked by Breakneck one-on-one, and 2 of them trying to make a crossfire against the DiNG. But DiNG sensed it and stopped the push instant and just instead went on them. The good decision making brought DiNG this victory, because this was a fluent game, less tactical, more relying on what you feel during the game is the right call.
Take a look at stats in the meantime. There's FE215Bs from KB.
Ooh, Hulknik 4K.
Yeah, I was going to touch on those T57s. I mean, Mary, when those FE215Bs pushed, got 4 shells off. And then they focused Mary, but then Hook came from behind with Break, as we saw, and completely removed everybody.
We already mentioned why some teams like to take a 57 lately instead of, for example, E5, because when this kind of fight starts, most teams are not relying on armor anymore and slow kind of games. They just want to do the burst. 57 will do the burst fast, and then it will survive or not. If it survives, great. He'll do another burst.
6 players there from DiNG in the top 7. Even Kurit. I mean, the T5041, not a great fan of it.
I really dislike the tank. I never liked it even when I played it in randoms, and I don't think it's really good for this. But we know why he took it. He took it so he could burst out also.
DiNG there, Wanting to fight, wanting to take the fight against KB. You think this is a new style for Ghost Style Mojo?
Well, it's effective.
It has been effective.
Even if there was a pressure on a cap, they were right there on the middle immediately. The fight would start seconds after, so there was no cap issue.
DiNG only
ever.
had really one goal, close up KB and push them.
Yes,
That's how it seemed.
and they dominated the middle instant. KB led them, and KB led them higher ground.
Now KB has to win the defense here to make it all even.
Not unthinkable, but last time they allowed themselves by bad positioning of tanks to get caught off in the rotation. The last defense they played against Utopia, Utopia kind of pressured the middle cap, and when KB was gathering up to go around them left and right, they were just pushed in one moment. Brati was caught off completely alone, and that was it. The game was over.
Take a look at the lineups here moving forward. And Mojo, we said we weren't fans of the T5041s.
Oh, snap.
And now instead of one, there's two.
There is 7 clippers now here. Cap pressure non-existent.
So,
Fighting imminent. A lot of running
fight
around
is
on the map
imminent.
after that.
Destruction is imminent as DiNG want to take the fight with KB, who have a more beefy lineup.
If they manage to catch one of those FVs or 113 in some insane push before the other guys arrive, they have a chance. So it has to be a really good direction
Who's
of
going
the
to take
fight.
the shells, though? Has to be the T5041s that take the shells.
Yeah, I guess they're there to be expendable.
4 shells and die.
4 shells and maybe run around while dying.
It's not the quickest tank. It's not going to run anywhere. But now, I like KB's lineup as well. They have the 113, the 239 Batchas, 150B. Now they're going to have to stick together, but it does seem like our teams are ready, so let's get into it. It's going to be the 4th round here between these two, DiNG and KB. DiNG currently sitting 2-1 up, Mojo. And what are we seeing so far?
DiNG is doing surprisingly a push toward the 1 cap.
Oh, they're going to put the Batchas on the cap.
Probably that's the best
And
bet.
KB is not in position.
And
They're not in position at all.
And KB is expecting them to try to rotate through the south or middle because of the brawl setup. But KB has plenty time to come there and be on time for the fight. They are really close, and the brawl we are looking for will happen in next 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Oh,
max.
this is terrible for KB. Now cap pressure, 3 guys on the cap. Keep an eye on that shockish positive break, dropping it down to 28 seconds already. Now KB is going to have to push into all the clippers from DiNG, Mojo. Oh, this is not looking good. You can see the lineup there.
57s and 54s. Now we see the hellish plan, but from DiNG this side, they want to put those cooldown clippers there to hold them off as much as they can. They're actually anticipating there is no one on A.
A lot of shells wasted
Ooh,
here.
and the cap
Morocco.
was resetted.
The cap?
They
no,
left
they
it.
left the cap. They completely left the cap. Crooks in that 50B now getting pushed from behind as well. They have to push forward. They have to push into the clippers of DiNG here. Positive coming from behind. Now Pada drops low. Genghis drops low as well. And the HP is still fairly even so far. Meritorious is off reload though. He's going to be a big factor in this. Picks up his first. Needs to do more than this. Can he pick up Pada as well in that FE25B? As he does. So still 4 guys alive from DiNG here, but Mary should fall.
Positive is being chased and he's in reload. It's really important that he would actually survive because his clip is needed in the future. Also, they need to kill Positive and Mary. Those are the prime targets for them.
Now Tarantula has 1 shell left. Now
And he's wasting it
finally
on
decides
Shockish.
to do it. Finally decides to land the shell on Shockish. Now Shockish focusing Raving here in that tier 9 bad shot. Needs to land another one. Has 1 shell left in the chamber. Needs to make the shell count here. Now Positive is off reload. Picks up Genghis. And it's all to Failware and Raven. If Positive can pick up Raven here, Shockish actually get away that FE215B too slow to chase.
But he's defending, and if Raven manages to keep himself alive, Knäckebröd's looking good at the moment.
KB looking good at the moment. Kuritz has a lot of HP though in that T5041.
He would have to push first, but Raven, it's critical how will Raven played out.
Oh, the timing.
come on,
Failware
Failware.
decided to drive forward here. Positive. And Kuritz landing the shell. Shell after shell comes in. Failware not looking good in this one. Kuritz landing another one. Tracks him on the corner as well. Doesn't have a repair kit as he goes down. Raven picks up Shockish, but Positive picks up Raven, and that will be DiNG picking up their 3rd round here. And KB, what was that?
Again, a really bad karma moment
The
for
timing.
Knäckebröd. Like on Mines, when Genghis had that reload, same moment here. The timing never works. He was not in hold-on position behind the corpse.
But why was he driving forward?
I don't know. Why was he
understand.
separating from Raven? Raven was still in reload.
Raven had to just flank around and kill Shockish.
Yes, and
much.
Raven was in reload. Why would they even split? They should have sit together while Raven gets shells and then do something, because they had advantage there. They just blew it. Not enough experience and entire map going for 2 DiNG.
We saw there one of the issues with the FE215B was it's not able to chase down anybody. Failware there.
Unless you manage to track him somewhere. Then you can keep him there.
Take a look at the stats from that last round as well. But Failware, yes, he did a lot of damage here. Koritz.
Bad choice at the end.
Koritz, the damage dealer.
Koritz, who actually managed to keep in track there and not moving.
I mean, Failware driving forward there, I'm not sure why or... Why? Why?
No, there is no reason.
There's no reason for him to drive
There is no
forward.
reason. That was just a big mistake.
He needs to control that corner while Raven goes around and kills Shockish.
He could have angled, put Raven somewhere
I mean, he could have
behind.
even driven into his own cap behind that hull down.
Yeah, whatever. He's better than this. Mrakar, not so much doing there on that tier 9.
He was the first focus. They tried to clip when they came around the corner the first time, and he only managed to land 1 shell there.
It's a horrible tank. I don't like it, honestly. I mean, Koritz did huge damage, but I still don't like the tank.
Now,
This is a rare one when you see Crooks so far down.
He got pushed from those bad shots from behind, then had to push forward, and there was nowhere to go for him. But that is mines done and dusted. Now, going into Prokhorovka.
A map that DiNG played quite a lot and pretty decent on all the matches.
They lost one against Swift, but we know why they lost that one.
You can explain on that later, but they also lost one on GoHard, and that was kind of a heavy counter play by GoHard, even blind play in some moment, because we've seen the movement of the tanks on a mini-map, and that was really obvious. But on last match against Rusty, they really wrecked them.
It did really wreck them. Now we can take a look at the lineups moving forward. DiNG would be going on to match point after this one, and again, this is what we've seen from them before.
So we have defense of DiNG, and this is their standard lineup for that. Koritz not giving up on that RU251, E5 and 113 and 4 Batchats. Now we've been mentioning what are their default positions. I'm pretty sure we will see them this time, because pushing woods does not pay off, as we've seen.
I mean, I don't mind Koritz in the RU251 because, I mean, I know how involved he is with the game and how busy he is. He doesn't normally have time to do damage. It's very weird when you see him do damage.
And he's been doing it quite a lot lately. He might be a good addition to those fantasy teams, because he's always cheap down there, but very crucial.
Koritz is cheap. That is true, but it does seem like our game is ready. Is DiNG going to get a match point, or is KB going to come back? Let's find out as we move to Prokhorovka. There we have it. Koritz going for a standard spot there, going to drive to D1, and also KB, fairly standard mojo.
Well, as we expected, DiNG does not want to take the forest. It's only Koritz going to spot. It's really standard opening for them. They're changing nothing there. 113 and E5 going up ahead there in hold-on positions. If they realize the enemy is going on 1-2 line, like Knäckebröd is, they will just separate a bit. E5 will go back, and 113 will stay on that like D4-5 position.
Still waiting for somebody to pretty much rush Koritz, like head-on, rush him.
The last time he actually managed to run away alive. He's spotting them, and he started to run away, but he's spotted now.
He won't get away this time. Koritz gets tracked
bummer.
here by Tarantula, Crooks from the bushes, and it was only...
Crooks is getting wrecked for this.
It was only a matter of time before somebody figured out Koritz and pushed him instantly, though.
It's kind of easy to blind play this when you are assuming where he is, mate. Like he didn't change positions since the last match. Oh wow, DiNG.
Now the standard rotation from DiNG coming out. Shockish, Hulk, going towards that southern part.
Well, the last time they got broken with this tactic is when the enemy team pushed EF line, and instead of going what is standard to press the rail, they just turned down on Mrakar and Mary. So they collided there with all they had. in that moment and won the match just by overmatching the power there. But Crooks, with the lowest amount of HP, staying there with the Clipper in the
Good
back.
decision.
It is always a good decision. We've seen people leave a Rue there or a
Doesn't
tank
really
like
do
that,
the
but
damage.
they're just not enough to do some kind of pressure in the back when your team is pushing from the other side. And there we go. Rotation is in.
Rotation is imminent here for KB as they're pushing all their bad shots and Tarantula down that K line. Now Hulk so far hasn't seen any of these bad shots yet. Just be careful here not to overstay his welcome.
Only Tarantula spotted
Oh
so
no.
far, and there is a huge push,
Oh no,
unspotted
Hulk.
coming in.
Hulk could be done for here in less than a few seconds as now the entirety from KB, Phil and Raven, Leech,
Ooh, the
Genghis, none of
pain.
them are spotted. The pain is coming Hulk as he now realizes the mistakes that he made as he pays for it with his life. And Shockish as well is going to be the next one as well, getting caught out. They didn't see any of these batches. Goodbye goes Shockish, and that's a 3-tank lead for KB.
What a blast and a pain chain here coming from Knäckebröd. Really nice play, positioning Tarantula ahead just so he would push away those proxy spotters and
Terrible
then coming
spotting
in
from
full
Hulk.
speed. Terrible spotting from DiNG with Kuriz being dead. I wonder
Even
how and
Hulk,
why.
Hulk should still have spotted that though. So focused on trying to do some damage on that RU that he didn't spot, and this is costing DiNG a
Again,
lot. That, I mean, if KB lose this round, then I don't know.
I mean, we've seen it almost happen yesterday, but it was almost.
Now Positive is moving forwards here. Hellfish decided to drop down. Positive can kill Crooks here. It's a good start for DiNG.
Oh, Crooks getting caught there. That was needless. Like
But
when
still, 4,000 HP up.
Still,
4,000.
Still, I have a feeling like when Crooks saw that his team is rotating there, it was a logical choice for DiNG. They will check this corner. He had time to just start running away.
Mary here, taking a lot of damage. Minus 1,082 here. DiNG trying to do what they can, but realistically, KB will just close in on them from all angles.
4,000 HP and 2 guns. It's not something you come out really easily, especially since they do know exactly positions of DiNG tanks. They have nowhere to go. And Break is trying some solo play here.
Breakneck here in his bat shot, trying to do what he can. I think he knows it is pretty much over in this one. We'll probably just drive over the house rather than chasing around him, but misses the shell. Now Raven is off reload as well. That will be breakdown. Positive does pick up failware in return, but still, it's all but over for DiNG in this one as KB, I think they pretty much knew the plan from DiNG there, Mojo.
It does look like everyone knew it, including us and spectators, because it's been done and played several times. And the weak spots were already exploited, and DiNG is still not changing it. Like, why? Are they so confident that they don't care? They just don't care?
Maybe they felt like they didn't want to give away anything else.
Still, this is kind of really... They might have pushed like EL Gaming with 7 guys.
Now, Positive gets picked up by Genghis, and that will be it. KB now bringing the score line to 3-2, and DiNG there. Why? Why?
They were just present on the map, but it looks like they were stuck in the past.
I mean, we've seen this from them now 3 times?
Yes.
4 times?
No, like
3.
3 times, and
it was exactly the same.
and they were
so,
countered 2 of those.
so it's exactly the same thing. So Kuriz goes into the one line, spots from the bush, runs away. Then at the same time, depending on how many tanks he spots, they rotate down. They leave 1-2 guys there. Break stays up. The heavies stay where they are.
You can time them by you can put like a watch, time them, and just drive around the map. It's exactly what Gohar did, just a different this different reaction from Gohar, different reaction, better reaction from KB here. But it's still just a normal counterplay because you can just predict them. It's horrible.
Let's take a look at the stats from that last round, as it's going to be Raven.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
new one.
And Genghis again.
So
the
Raven and
additions
Genghis
working
were,
out?
yeah, finally some new additions to the team are kicking out and doing the damage. That's always a good thing to see in a team. Lichber also a new guy in a team.
Mm-hmm. So top 3
Unusually,
spots.
Crooks is always again a bit down on damage, but it
There's
wasn't
nobody
needed.
from DiNG to be found there. Positive Then Morocco with 1.3k HP, 1.3k damage.
They're not the best performance DiNG here, so nothing much to say about them. Koritz doing one shot, Hulknik 0.
Well, Hulknik, I mean, he paid for his sins there.
His team paid for his sins there.
Hulk paid for his mistakes afterwards. Shokish paid for Hulk's as well. That wasn't good from DiNG. That was not good.
That was kind of childish mistake. I really expect them to redeem it now in attack. Because now
Last time when they
it's really
played
hard
this,
to
we saw
predict.
them play with 140s. Now if they bring these 140s again and they do the same thing, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah, that's kind of predictable, and also we've noticed even that plan had its flaws. We saw it right there and then while it was developing. So, what are their picks? Well, we will not say until it's shown.
So far, but now DiNG could KB do it, and I mean the last round, the last map being Cliff.
Well, if this is an
for
equalizer, when it goes
for
to Cliff,
Cliff,
this is such a gamble. You
KB
don't want.
needs this round though if they want to go into Cliff, because DiNG's defense on Cliff might be really good.
But DiNG haven't played Cliff, so that's kind of a joker for them, because no one
That's why
has any clue
So
what
I
they played
think
so
KB
far there.
needs at least one round here.
Yes,
They need to pick up.
KB must pick up an equalizer here, so they will have an even footing with DiNG there. They played it a lot, and DiNG had a chance to study them well.
Now, I said it before, DiNG, we've even asked them about it. I don't know why they keep playing the same stuff.
And what did they say?
I think Morocco said if they bring new stuff, they would just 100% beat them.
Oh wow! So rage quit. So we are giving them hope, kind of like statements. Okay, bring it on. Let's see.
Just waiting for teams to get ready in this one, but now Prokhorovka, I don't know, man. If they do the same stuff, I feel like Hellfish will counter them. I mean, not even counter them, but be aware of the possibilities.
Last time we watched, let us remind the viewers, they had 3 object 140s, and they pushed the village side with those.
That only worked because nobody was controlling the rails.
Yes, no one was controlling the rails. There was only one rule left behind to kind of watch over from Rusty, and he was alone, shot fast. There was no need for that. And then they pressured the cap, positioned the tanks up and down on rail, object on 140 especially, and the first guy who tried to cross to them, he took a beating in Houston. Yeah, he died in like 2 seconds, literally. But the thing we said, if there was already rotation in place on time by enemy team, he could have caught off those 140s and really gave them hell. So, yeah, in theory the plan worked really nice and looked really nice on screen, but it kind of depended also on some mistakes from the enemy team. Now we will see did DiNG change any tactic, or they will just try to recycle the same again.
I'm interested for seeing DiNG. We're going to see at least one round of DiNG on the Cliff. Be interesting to see how they play that one out.
Yeah, they haven't played it in a while. I always like to see Breakneck there, but here you go.
Does seem like our lineups already, so let's take a look. Moving into our 6th round here. Ooh, remembered correctly. And there are the 140s, and I am not happy. If they do the same thing, I'm saying they're losing. They lose this round if they do the same thing.
It's a big recycle of those 140s. Knäckebröd playing with i7 and 113, they can do pretty much whatever they want with them. We already stated they can choose to play wood side with this or just dominate the village side. They have enough coverage by that TVP and budgets.
Now, DiNG, last time we saw them go towards that eastern village. Are they going to do the same thing? I really think they're just going to do exactly the same thing as they did before.
I really hope that Koritz is kind of capable of some mind game and just play around with that.
Is DiNG going to do the same thing and bring themselves up to match point? Or is KB going to make it all even? Let's find out. So move into our 6th round here between these two, and it is not exactly the same thing.
Yeah, they're going for the forest this time, thank God, because otherwise it would be really awkward. Awkward! Breakneck is the only guy staying behind the Koritz to cover it. There is someone really greedy for him to shoot him. The rest of the guys are going to the forest.
Again, Koritz lands the shell. He did it before as well.
Yeah, he did it also the last game we watched. Back on the cheek is always nice.
Genghis taking a little bit of damage there already. Now, this is a very Now DiNG is starting to finally move down that 1-2 line. That's pretty early, I would say, or they're just waiting.
Well, Knäckebröd has nothing to gain by playing offensive in any way. Hellfish is actually staying there with the heavy tank on this side of the rail. I hope he will be smarter, because we've seen teams who are trying to play proactive with that tank. That's never smart, because then they're shot off and killed first. A lot of tanks by Knäckebröd are cornered down, ready for counterattack. They're not even trying to spot village or the hill.
They're trying to make a trap for DiNG here. But it's not going to work out. And this one, as you can see that blob of DiNG tanks now moving down the 1-2 line. What are they going to do afterwards? Because we've seen a lot of teams do this, and some teams decide to go for the cap, which is not really an option. And then a lot of teams decide to rotate back. They don't really have any heavies, and Pade and Hellfish, if they play this one right, could be very crucial.
Yeah, the only thing they can put in that cap is either a light tank or object 140s, but all of them can be out-damaged by heavies in cooldown. So that's not a viable option. Well, let's see what they have in plan for us. At the moment, they're hoping for some free damage. That we can see.
Rest of KB here still sitting in a trap for now. I mean, Mary is moving forwards. Actually, a lot of tanks moving forwards here. Mary, Marakar, Hulk. Triple cap pressure here.
Well, that will definitely provoke a response and trigger it from the Knäckebröd. Let's see, Hellfish is the first one to go there. And 113 is still on the other side. But there is really a lot of Clippers bowling up there. And there is a counterattack.
There's the counter-attack coming off from DiNG now, but all these batches are trying to cross as well for DiNG now. It's gonna work out now. Hellfish is already taking a lot in this one, so it's
He bounced a lot of shells also, made he's alive and unchallenged.
Breakneck, and Leech Bear as well from the same time. Pada now comes over in that heavy 113. Positive is on a one-shot failure, should pick him up as he does. Now Shockish is on reload, and the HP is still in favor for DiNG at this point.
Not only that, there is so many on one-shot guys for Knäckebröd, and Hellfish should fall anytime moment. Like, he bounced really a lot of shells there, bought them a lot of time, but just not enough.
So there's 140s here, do pick up Hellfish, but in return, Shockish goes down in that bad shot now. It's all about repositioning here. Failware, he is the guy with the HP. He needs to survive for a long time here, and Pada has to just soak the damage.
Pade will be in trouble now, because there is no one even helping him there. The driver, tracked and whatever, left alone.
He's just taking the damage. There was supposed to be return damage here, but Crook's not really landing the shells now. There's a little one-on-one here.
That, I think they were in reload. That's the main issue.
There's a little one-on-one here. It's going to have to see who wins this. For now, Tarantula seems to be winning it. He needs 307 roll on Koritz. Can he do it? As he does, so a little bit of an advantage there at least, but still those 3 140s could be doing a lot on this one. Failware needs to land every single shell here, as Hulk from the side is also helping Hulk, overextending just a little bit. Failware will be able to pick him up. Hulk lands another. Failware picks him up. 1 shell left. Crooks is on reload. Should be on reload though.
Crooks has to run away, but also Failware has to run away, and he chose the wrong way, because he's going straight for his enemies there.
Failware choosing the wrong way here. Marakar in that Russian medium should be able to take him down. Mary is also coming from there. Failware taking even more now. Decides to reposition. Marakar landing another one. Mary, can he pick it up? As he does now, Mary is on a lot of HP.
Well, we have now Knäckebröd with 2 one-shot guys against DiNG, who can play around with HP,
well,
but single shooters.
Crooks has to be really careful in this one.
The thing is, if Marakar dies, there is a good chance for Knäckebröd to win this.
Now Tarantula really needs to spot these 2 guys. I mean, spots Marakar, needs to really land the shot. Crooks gets spotted to in return, and Marakar picks up Crooks! Oh no! Crooks, what have you done? Why? How does Crooks go down there?
I really don't understand. A moment of bad judgment by him, trying to do damage instead of running away here, because this is supposed to be a long game for them. There is no easy win.
There's no point for Crooks to pick. He needs to let Tarantula spot and then, you know...
even fire a first shell.
Play from that, yeah. If Tarantula fires on Marakar, Marakar turns the third, he peeks over and kills him. Not the other way around.
and then they could just play around the angles with Mary, who would be alone. But like this, the game lost on really unlucky choice by Failware. If he just went up instead of down, he would be safe, actually. But he could not have known that because enemy was in that direction. Also, now this choice by Crooks to fire instead of wait.
I don't know why Crooks, that was a really bad misplay. Shouldn't have gotten spotted there at all. Tarantula should be the one spotting. That was not great here, and it will most likely put DiNG onto match point.
Really risky gambit, paying off for DiNG here. I cannot say I like this tactic. Honestly, I don't. It reminds me too much like on that chaotic rage quit play, which can work or not, but it's really a huge gamble.
A lot of individual mistakes here for KB. Now Tarantula, I mean, realistically, there's a small chance he could do it here. You know, he only has to survive for 3 minutes on a one-shot, reset both of them, run away, then do it again.
You know that will happen, but not.
I'm hopeful.
Like the moment he fires somewhere, one of them will just go and chase him.
It's 140s though.
Yeah, one will just go and chase him. Like he will cut him away, and the one that will chase him will be Mary. But
8 seconds.
let's
7. And Tarantula be the hero. 3 seconds, 2 seconds,
We've
1
seen it
second,
yesterday. We have the fate.
0 seconds. He needs to shoot here as he misses, and that will be it. DiNG picking up their match point here.
Still one to go.
Yeah, still 1 to go now. This should have been a 1 round for KB.
This, in my eyes, like the amount of damage that Hellfish soaked up there, I think like 4 or 5 shots in a row. They didn't pen him. I7 is really mean in that position. I think 113 cannot do that. And that was really going well for them.
They traded
It's
really
just
badly.
Yeah,
on
it
those
was
match
it was kind of a bad trade while they were focusing the I7. 2 guys, I think, from Knäckebröd died by, I don't know, peeking
They
too
should have
much.
just all peeked over together. Pade peeks first, takes the damage. The other 3 peek over, kill all the bad shots.
But no one even shot at Pade at these moments.
But they didn't even peek. Pade only peeked like after Leech Bear was already dead.
Yeah, it was not a really best communication. So that's the main reason was costing them the round.
And then the play from Crooks in the end, when we look at stats at the same time, the play from Crooks at the end really disagree with him getting spotted. Yes, there's a lot of damage in this one, but him getting spotted and taken down by Marakar, he could have won that round. Realistically speaking, he could have easily won that round.
He had a chance because between him and Tarantula, they had a better spotting and camo values and mobility, though they were lacky on HP maybe. And
They only had to kill one of them.
yeah, Mrakar. They had to kill Mrakar, who is on 500 HP, and it was doable between 2 of them, 1 shot each. And after that, they could play Ring Around the Roses
How
internally.
does Pade only do 493 damage in this one?
I really don't understand what he was shooting at. That's really bad. Even when they pushed him, like that was a clear shot. So what was that? Breakneck.
He should have done at least 1k.
Again, I noticed positive suicide again. Like he went over the rail to finish off a guy. Is that some kind of miscommunication in DiNG or something? Because he did it also on mines. It was
Not
really
sure.
risky and needless. He was just finishing off guy on 100 HP, and he lost in process to do that like 800.
Not sure. We'll have to ask maybe in the next interview.
Memo it.
Memo it. Send me an email. Now, moving on to our next map, though. It's going to be Cliff, and so far, we really haven't seen DiNG play.
We haven't
this
seen
at
DiNG
all.
play at all, but we know they have players capable of doing anything needed on that map. Fast plays, coordination,
Boost.
focus fire, boost, whatever you want. Let's see, they are attacking.
That's the one advantage, I guess, for KB.
Is it? Last several times we've seen people defending, they actually lost.
That's because the defenders are now all trying to play super passive, and it doesn't work
I
out.
really did not like those grillas. I mean, it's kind of okay to see it in one game, but everyone is
then
trying
again,
to overuse it and do the cheap damage.
When we watch out of range play, they put a lot of emphasis on the hill from the defending side, but like with half the team and then the other half is like kind of somewhere in between. I mean, if you want to go for the hill, don't send 3 guys.
We've seen people trying to match and overmatch, but I kind of have a feeling at the moment that the attacker can easily overmatch the guys on the hill.
Yeah, that's
If
why
they know how.
That's why you need to make a different kind of play as defender.
But let's see. Lineups.
Let's take a look at the lineups. See here, DiNG 1 TVP, 2-9 bad shots. I am a fan of this lineup. Approved. KB, I don't know why they need a Rue on this one. I really don't see the need for a Rue at all.
KB in defense there.
What do you need a Rue for?
I have no clue. I mean, they were probably going to try to spot the lower round with it, or they will just send him YOLO on the middle to see is DiNG coming. But if he sees something, he will be dead. These guys have the firepower on their side.
DiNG has the firepower overmatch, especially because KB also has 2 TVPs.
And they cannot go in the front line.
They cannot go in the front line. If DiNG get a good overmatch, good focus fire.
That's not unheard of.
No, I mean, they can get a very easy overmatch and win it out because of TVP's very quick burst. But after that,
It doesn't look good for Knäckebröd at the moment.
depends on how they take this defensive style. It depends on what exactly they're going for. They need early damage on their side, though, if they want to hold out.
Yeah, but 2 TVPs. 1, okay. You cover your team, but 2, it's kind of too much.
Let's see, can DiNG close it out, or is KB going to mount a comeback? Let's find out as we move into Cliff.
Cliff, the most dynamic map in the league. Battles on Cliff always turn into desperate double-edged fights. Teams start from the same spots as they do in standard battles. The first base is located near the defender's spawn point, and the second is at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes teams split their forces and send several tanks through the 1-2 line to the left of the small hill, but usually both teams play at the center. The attacking team can send one of the tanks up to the lighthouse or behind it. Fast and quick-firing vehicles are better suited for this map, mainly medium tanks, including tanks equipped with autoloaders.
So there we have it now. Raven. Oh, T49, not the Rue.
What? Okay, and Hellfish has a grille. Okay, never mind our GFX guys. This makes kind of more sense now. But still a lot of tanks out of Knäckebröd.
This obviously
A wrong
has to be a restart because teams have to submit their lineup beforehand. And it's this little thingy here, which I'm not showing fully, obviously. But
Print screen.
there was no Gorilla in there. There was no T49 in there either. So
Weird.
weird,
Awkward.
awkward.
Restart. Never mind. We can debate about their tactics. That's not going to happen a while more.
Oh, I was so focused on looking at the lineup from KB. I was like, T49?
What did happen here? But we need to have more trust in our admins, I guess, who didn't check them before the game. Then again, 2 TVPs in the Rue and budgets. That's what we have here. Oh, that's a tough one.
Hmm?
1 player dropped.
So what's up with the... I'm so confused with the lineups.
Well, at the moment we have this, what we said, and that one made sense, kind of. And the one with the grille and this, I was hoping that everyone will abandon because even Hellfish was one of the guys in that grille who got caught off and shot on that hill. That hill is a death trap because as soon as someone approaches you close enough, there is nowhere to run. Nowhere. There is no way to avoid getting spotted. It's fine if you're shooting people that are on the other side of the map, but once the fight starts, you're the first target.
Now let's not talk about KB because
Okay.
we're not sure what lineup they're going to actually bring now. But DiNG with a very aggressive lineup, are they going to go super aggressive, you think? Because I think they could go super aggressive, but
I
we've
really
seen it
think
on Ghost Town. Sometimes they have it in them to go super aggressive, but I
I
don't
think
it's
they
their
will go
best
super
style.
aggressive because after all, this is Kuritz and Breakneck here. They will change the... I mean, DiNG before that was also aggressive team. Let's not undermine that. But after this, let's remember Virtus, how they play this map. Ultra
Very
aggressive,
ultra
always.
aggressive.
Always. So I don't see any need to change that kind of habit. It's that kind of map, the ones that play it more like ballsy. And lineups, I think we can see finally.
Yeah, I think we got the lineups. So we go here, the lineups. Oh, so it is with the Gorilla and the T49. What do we know?
Oh, snap. Oh, Hellfish.
So it was a mistake from us. We apologize. They are going to be playing with Gorilla and T49.
I really hope
Oh, I
Hellfish
don't
will
like
not get
this.
caught.
I like
a dodo.
that. Even though that last lineup, I don't like this Gorilla.
No, me neither. 49 instead of Ru, yes. Yes, definitely yes. On this map, yes. But this, I really don't like. And I think just the problem is for them now, like how will they position Hellfish? If he's on upper position, he
So
is easily to
obvious.
get spotted. If he's down waiting for someone to climb up,
Maybe we'll
if
see
they
the rage quit trap again on the 1-2 line.
the only way for this to work is if he's like down with 49 and some of the DiNG guys try to go fast and then he catches someone and makes huge advantage in a start.
So it does look like our teams are ready here. DiNG still on match point. KB chasing here. There we go. Both teams are in it again. Correct lineups.
All good.
All good. Raven and T49. And the start from DiNG. Pretty aggressive. Everybody towards the middle except for Brick.
Well, Break is monitoring the lower side. Failware is doing a boost. Tarantula also. That's a new guy way up there, guys. We've seen it by several teams, especially like with 49 waiting there. And it's a really nice way how to dominate this. This is pretty good because of Raven and Hellfish down watching the lower line so they can gather up.
Well, they could really catch out Positive in this
Positive is not aware of this and he might pay the price.
No, Positive. Positive here seems to be getting caught out a little bit.
But
I think Genghis
he will have a huge cover by his teammates.
Genghis does have an angle on his side though, so he's not out of the clear just yet. Genghis here, you can see the elevated position. Oh, Positive using the rock to shield himself here, but still. And also look at Hellfish's position. E3 in a Grilla.
It's kind of a risky one if he gets spotted, but even like that, at the moment, DiNG is controlling the upper ground, so they can return the fire really shortly.
Here
and they know Genghis is alone. Does Knäckebröd have enough firepower to cover him?
Hulk and Mary going over now. Genghis is the focus here. Has one more shell left. Genghis, he will be going down in this one, but the damage in return, losing pretty much a full bat shot as well. Now Crooks pushing forwards here for who knows what reason, and Crooks goes down.
Again!
What are you doing, Crooks? Now the push from KB, a little bit half, and now Failware taking a lot in this one as well. And
but
what
DiNG
just
has
happened?
such an HP advantage now for nothing. Like this was pretty much like their first game against OR, where OR decided to push on Brati, who was here on cooldown, but he ran away and he gave a lot of time to KB to shoot them back. But this is not that.
Now Hellfish goes down as well to break, and it looks all but over for KB as their push was not together. But as I say, that break goes down. Koritz is on reload, but there's no real chance as Shokish now picks up Leech Bear. Tarantula's on reload, and I'm not sure what KB just did, but now Failware is going to get chased down by Maraka. Shokish kills Tarantula, and it will all be on Raven and that T49 unless he magically ammo racks 4 of them. No real chance.
Wow, that's usually my line. But what to say here? Everything fell to pieces, and personal reactions of DiNG players were on spot. They were surprised in a start. They got caught off guard. Ayya!
As that will be it, as DiNG close out the match here, 5-2 Mojo. Decisively, and that was really, what the hell? How little damage did they do on them coming over, and what is Crooks doing out in the middle of the field?
Crooks is getting caught 2 maps in a row. That's quite unusual for him. He's usually a really careful player, focusing on his damage. Getting caught like this, I don't understand it. The loss of a tank